Radio check, radio check. I hope you guys can hear me. And we are on for the first race after the summer break. It's the Dutch Grand Prix, and it's gonna be an interesting one. We'll have the usual battle in front, some surprise drivers that are starting on top, so they will be fighting and hoping for podium. So it's gonna be an interesting one to see. But first, welcome everyone to the stream. I see already there are almost 200 people in it. So I just want to say quick hi to, let's see, 65, the Blue Hawk, Sempre, Burnbrai, Mayton. We have Nomad, Ekrin. So all people are here. Also, of course, the Green Chatters, Paula, Shay, Dark Maui, Maike. Everyone is here. Sorry if I'm pronouncing badly some names. I'm really terrible at it, but I hope you can understand. Good evening, Abhinav. Well, it's a good afternoon for me, but I guess everyone in the world will have different times. And that's actually a good point. So if you can type in chat, where are you from? Let's see if someone can find his neighbor on the stream. Nick says, what's your name racing statistics? Well, we said the name reveal will be at 200, I think, no, 150k subscribers. So let's keep it a secret a bit more. We're actually really close to it. I think 144k subscribers. So yeah. Araku says from Italy, Abhinav from India, Henrik, hello, good afternoon. David Taylor, Thailand, Khalid, USA, India, Canada, Tasmania, South Africa, New Zealand, KSA. I'm not sure where is that. Are you trying to write USA or is it KSA? Khalid. Yeah, I don't know where that is, so please let us know, and yeah, you don't have to repeat it. Okay, there are a couple things uh, that we have to cover, and we have Peter from Bali, so all over the world. I wanted to go through a couple things to. Nick says you sound like Carlos, Juan, or Miguel. Well, we will see. We will see. Andrew Duenas is here too. Hi, Andrew. Germany, yeah, all over the place. Okay, let's dive into the data and into the news. So there are a couple things that we need to discuss. There's a change into the that could affect the strategy from one stop to two stop. That's one thing. The other thing, we're gonna go through the starting grid because there has been some changes on the starting grid, and yeah, we'll go through some statistics and some graphs that currently will be on screen, and you can see them like slideshow going through it, and I will talk about it and everything that's going on around them. And the last thing is that I have made some changes to the layout. So a lot of people have been saying that the timings are too small, or maybe the minimap is too small. So I mean, I know it's a limited space, so there's not much you can do if you want to show as much data as possible. So for the race, we have removed some things. We have increased the live timings, the minimap. They will be bigger, so you can see it hopefully on a phone, on a tablet, on a small laptop, and it should be great on TV. I think this size will be perfect on TV. So I'm just gonna give you a quick sneak peek. I'll remove the slideshow, and you can see now on screen how it's gonna look when the race starts. Also, the countdown will be gone, so there you will see the live messages from the drivers. And I think this is going to be a lot better view for you to follow everything. The timings are really a lot bigger. The map is really a lot bigger. We have the little fox there that showed up yesterday. So all the details are in place, I think. Yeah, so if you can take a look at that and let me know what do you think. Nick says, I personally don't need the driver chat during a race. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have it because then you kind of get really into the race and know how drivers are communicating with their teams. And yeah, it's maybe in future we can remove it, but I think a lot of people want it. So we can do a poll or something to see what we can leave there and what we can remove. Male Kindbird says Fox was good addition. Male Kingbird actually. Sorry. Nick says I do like the larger lap times. Yeah, those were biggest issue I think because they were too small and even for me it was too small to see it. Budbrook, thank you for the donation. You're the Alonso fan and Alonso starts P10 today, so we will see. 65 the Blue Hawk says I like the team radios. Okay, that's good. Okay. I will bring now back the presentation because I will be mentioning some things here from the slides. And first, let's go through the grid, starting grid. So we will have Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris on the first row. They have been really, really close, like 0.012 difference. I think Piastri got a little slipstream from Lawson, and maybe that gave him the pole. I'm not sure, but I think that was the case because Lando Norris was dominating the whole weekend pretty much, and many people expected him to get the pole, but in the end, Piastri did it. So that's the front row. Then we have Max Verstappen on P3 and the amazing Isaac Hajar, who did great yesterday. He's gonna be starting on P4. And the interesting thing about him is that if you look at the sector times, each sector 1, 2, and 3, he was never P4 or higher in any sector. I think in sector 1, he was P7 or P8. In sector 2, he was P9. In sector 3, he was P6, I believe. So yeah, it's really interesting how he put together that lap because he wasn't really, let's say, dominating ahead of the rest of the grid in any of the sectors. So quite cool from him, and it's good to see him in P4. So hopefully he has a good start and can maintain that position because right behind him are George Russell and Charles Leclerc. There's Lewis Hamilton also, so they will all be looking to take advantage at the start and try to jump Isaac. So he's gonna have a hell of a job in the beginning. Yeah, we will mention about the rain later, so let's just first go through the grid. Uh, okay, so we have Russell P5, Charles Leclerc P6, Hamilton P7. Then is Liam Lawson in P8. He was kind of disappointing. He was disappointed in himself after the quali because I guess he expected to be higher because it's really important in this race to qualify higher as it's gonna be hard to overtake. But there will be probably many more opportunities than last year and previous years because of something that we are gonna mention later that would involve the strategy. So after Liam Lawson is Carlos Sainz P9. Fernando Alonso is going to be P10. He couldn't really put a lap yesterday in Q3. I mean, I think his Q3 lap time was even slower than his Q2. So he's going to start P10, which is still great for Aston Martin to be in Q3. Kimi Antonelli is going to be P11. Antonelli has been kind of underperforming in the last couple of races. So we will see how he will manage the race pace and if he can get into the points. Yuki Tsunoda is P12. Bortoleto P13. Then we have Gasly, Albon, Franco Colapinto, and I know some of you mentioned it's not Colapino, it's Colapinto. I think it's just the pronouncement of Grash and me is different. So yeah, I'm gonna use Colapinto here. Then we have Nico Hulkenberg on P17, Esteban Ocon P18, Lance Stroll, who had a great FP1 session, and then everything went downhill from there. He had two crashes, stuck in the gravel, hit the wall. His team managed to fix the car, then he crashed it again. So yeah, Lance Stroll didn't disappoint this weekend. So we will see how he's gonna manage it from P19, and we have Oli Bierman starting from pit lane. So they have been doing some work on his car, so he's gonna take the pit lane start. Aisha Harris says, how much more time to start? There's a counter on screen, so it's about half an hour until the formation lap. Actually, 33 minutes. So we do have quite some time to talk about everything that you want to talk. So yeah, that was the grid. Let me know, what do you think is gonna happen in the lap one? Is it gonna be a clean lap? Is it gonna we're gonna have some incidents into turn one? So it's it's all open. See, there's already 362 people here, so thank you everyone for joining. 121 likes. If you can hit the like button, it really helps us out to bring more people to the stream. So yeah, it's free to do and it really helps us out. So if you haven't done it already, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our streams. Igna says hi from Argentina. Hi, Igna. Okay, the second thing to talk about is the strategy here with the tires, because it seems like it's going to be a dry start. We won't have rain, and there is some chance of rain towards middle and end of the race, but it's more likely that we are not going to see any rain. So it's going to be, at least for the start, it's going to be a dry race. And we saw in the driver's parade it was quite dry, and there it's cloudy, but there's no sign of any rain. So yeah, the strategy could play a big role here because it's hard to overtake. So the more pit stops we have, there's more chance of overtaking during the pit stops, and that is gonna be changed here uh, from last year and the year previously. I mean, you can see on the screen from last year we had one stop strategy, mostly from medium to hards. Some people decided to go for two stop strategy with soft, hard, and soft, but it was mostly medium to hards around 25, 26, 27th lap. So that doesn't give too much chances of overtaking during the pit. But now there's gonna be a change. Abhinav says, is there any number of mandatory pit stops? One is, I mean, it's not a mandatory pit stop as it is that you have to have two different sets of compounds. So at least one stop when you change from one compound to another. So if you go to the same compound, then you have to go for two pit stops until you fulfill that condition. So the change now is that the pit lane speed limit for this weekend is changed, and that is kind of blurring the strategic line. It is really hard now to predict if this is going to be a one-stop or a two-stop strategy, because the FIA increased the pit lane speed limit from 60 kilometers an hour to 80 kilometers per hour. So now the cars, when they go into the pits and they go out from the pits, they can be a lot faster than they used to be. So that shortens the whole pit window. I think previously we would have the pit window around 22 seconds, and now it's going to be 19 seconds. So 3 seconds doesn't seem a lot, but that's really a lot, and it could maybe even force teams to go to a two-stop strategy, because then you have fresher tires, you have faster car, you can make up these 19 seconds, and during the pit stop you can gain some position, so you can uh, get some driver that's faster than you stuck behind you because it's hard to overtake. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this pit stop strategy is going to work for this weekend. And of course there's the rain here. I mean, we are assuming this with a dry condition that is going to be one stop or two stop, but if the rain comes, yeah, then it's going to be a chaos. So it's going to be, I think, very interesting to see how this looks at the end. And of course we will have the graph with the pit stop strategy and the positions gained and lost at the end of the race, and we'll post it on YouTube, on the post page, and on Facebook. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Will teams be inclined to go to, assuming it's gonna be a dry race, to go to a two-stop strategy because the pit stop is gonna be around 19 seconds instead of 22 seconds, or do you think they're gonna stick with one-stop strategy? I see a lot of crowns in chat, so let's see who are the top fans. Paula is first, Maitan second, and 65 the Blue Hawk is third. You are the top fans for this stream for now. 65 the Blue Hawk says always a chance of a shower at Zandvoort, but not expected. Bakes says the same, always a chance of showers in Netherlands. Paula says there's been a rain in UK. So yeah, the rain is circling there around the track, so who knows what's gonna happen. And there's Grash joining in the chat. And just FYI, I'm just gonna be keeping company here until Grash joins for some time. And yeah, Grash is gonna be the commentator for the race. I still haven't done a full session of commentary, but hopefully I'll get ready for the next couple races. Maybe I'll join a session and try to see how I can do in the commentary field with everything going on. Okay, maybe we should make a poll here. Let's see, what should be the poll? I was gonna say we should make a poll of which team is gonna win most points, but I think it's kind of obvious that it's probably gonna be McLaren. But we can do one for the which is gonna be the second team with most points, because we have one car of Red Bull, two cars of Racing Bulls in the top 10, and so one car of Mercedes, two cars of Ferrari. So let's do that as a poll, because I think that can have interesting results. Assuming Vote is up, so you can vote now. Let me see if I formulated it correctly. So it says, assuming McLaren will win most points in the race, which team will be second with points won? Yeah, I think that's fine. Also, we're live currently on Twitch, at least I believe. Let me check. Yeah, we are. So welcome everyone on Twitch, and we will soon go live on TikTok and Facebook. So welcome social media where you're watching. Says I forgot to mention that today is my country Independence Day. Well, happy holidays. We're gonna have Independence Day next week, so seems like a lot of countries gained independence this period. Greetings, John Smith. Greetings from Netherlands. Okay, the poll is quite close. Seems like most people think, well, it's between Red Bull and Ferrari. Pace has been member for 22 months. That's a long time. Says, come on, Lando, cash this bet. Thank you, Pace, for the support. Aiton says if the grid stayed as it is, Racing Bulls would score the second most points. Well, they are fourth and eighth. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Unless Tsunoda gets some points or Ferrari goes up in the grid. Akita says if Hamilton crashed today, it will be really bad for his mental health. Yeah, I mean, the crash would be bad for anyone, but I agree. Hamilton had a couple of 360 spins in free practice, so it would be good to keep it on track during the race. Crash says Lance Stroll is starting on the grid. Yeah, I think there were some discussions. I didn't really follow through that because he didn't really set a time, or it was more than the rule of 107% from the pole time that he shouldn't start from the grid. But I think he's starting from the grid too. He says watching the race live from Budapest currently. That's great. Love Panda says hello, hello. Peter says this is going to be 80 kilometers per hour in pit lane for the rest of this season's races, or just the Dutch Grand Prix. 3 seconds can win or lose a race. I'm not sure if this is gonna go for all the other races, but let me check. Mhm. Yeah, I think this is for all races because in other, I mean, I think this has been done only for this race, but in other races it's already 80 kilometers per hour. So yeah, yeah, Grash confirms that in chat. Christine says, thanks for the stream. I wish Hajar to give his fourth position and grab the points to go up in the championship. Yeah, I am really hoping for Hajar to have a good race. He has been constantly performing and I think he deserves it. Imagine if he gets on the podium, that would be amazing. But of course, Very unlikely unless something crazy happens because he has a lot faster cars behind. Well, maybe they are not a lot faster given this weekend Ferrari has been underperforming. But yeah, Mercedes could be faster. So it's gonna be hard to defend that position. And ahead, of course, he has Verstappen and McLarens, which are faster than him. Max 33 Formula One. Hello, everyone. Hello, Max. Okay, the poll seems to take more votes now. People think that Ferrari is gonna be the team with second most points, and then 37%, and then Red Bull second with 34%, Mercedes 19, and Racing Bulls with 10%. It's interesting that only 10% think that Racing Bulls will be the team with second most points when they actually have second most points right now as the starting grid is. So people probably think that Hajar is gonna drop down because Lawson probably can keep himself in the points. He has Sainz and Alonso behind him and Antonelli. So he might lose some positions, but on pace, I think he can keep himself in the points. Think about the Bortoleto run. Yeah, I think Bortoleto is doing really great. These couple races, I mean, even from the first half of the season, maybe he didn't start really good, but it seems like he's getting used in the car and he's getting faster and faster and more consistent. So if he keeps going like this, I think he probably will be one of the top candidates for Rookie of the Year. Right now, I think it's between him and Hajar because Antonelli kind of drops now from that race. Lawson is becoming better and better, but yeah, we will see. Colapinto still has things to prove in the Alpine. So I think it's between Hajar and Bortoleto of who is gonna be the Rookie of the Year. Okay, we are 16 minutes until the formation lap. There's no rain on track. It's gonna be a dry start, but there's a possibility of rain later in the race. For those who are just joining in, this is the racing statistics stream of the Dutch Grand Prix watch along, and I will be keeping you company until like 5-10 minutes before race start, and then Grash will join and will take over the commentary as usual. Let's see if there are some other news happening in the meantime. So yeah, this is the home race of Max Verstappen, and as expected, he has won majority of the races here. So 2021, 2022, and 2023 were all won by Max Verstappen, with Lando Norris winning last year. The weather is fairly dry, but there's a 40% chance of rain. This is coming from the FIA. And yeah, with the track being right next to the channel, predicting weather here is a bit tricky, so we cannot be sure what's gonna happen. Luigi says, I'm Italian, and of course I pray for Antonelli for the Rookie of the Years, but I think Hajar is better in the moment. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Antonelli started really strong, but he will need some time to get back on track. Cloud says Zandvoort sprint will be interesting. I think you mean race because this is not a sprint weekend. He says goosebumps. Finally, they found someone who actually sang the national anthem without false notes. I actually didn't hear that, so I don't know who was. Do you know who was singing the anthem? All the Max supporters, Max Citeers in here. Yeah, we threw the. Okay, 12 minutes until formation lap. I think drivers already had that warm up laps, which I actually forgot to refresh the data because you would be able to see them on track going around the track. And yeah, I just forgot about that. But anyway, that's just warm up laps, and we'll get to the real thing really soon. Okay. We also have a on screen. You will see we have a new chart. I mean, kind of new. We had it on the in the last race that we are comparing teammates in quali. So basically, we're doing the comparison, but only in the session where they both participated, because that would eliminate any track evolution because the conditions in Q1, let's say in Q3, would be different and times would be a lot more faster or slower. So on that, let me pull it up. The closest battle is of course the battle for the McLaren drivers. They have been 0.012 seconds, and these are both times, of course, set in Q3. Then both drivers that were in Q3 and are closest are the Ferrari drivers with 0.050 seconds. The third team that has the closest gap between drivers is uh, Haas. Both of their drivers went out in Q1, so their times in Q1, the difference is 0.065. Then the next one in Q1 are Sauber, because both drivers participated only in Q1, even though if one of the drivers goes in Q2, we take the Q1 time for comparison. So they are the fourth closest team with smallest gap, with 0.158 Bortoleto leading Hulkenberg. Then in Q2, we had both Mercedes drivers. Antonelli didn't make it to Q3, so we're taking the Q2 times. It was 0.180 seconds. Russell beating Antonelli. Exactly the same difference happened in Q2 for the Williams drivers, where Sainz was ahead of Albon. Then in Q1, we had both Alpines with 0.21, 0.210 of Gasly versus Colapinto. Hajar beat Lawson in Q3 with 0.3, and in Q2 the biggest gap was Verstappen versus Tsunoda with half a second between them. We don't have Aston Martin here because Stroll didn't have a representative time, so it's just the 9 teams. But it seems like this graph is kind of interesting for people because I see it's getting some traction on Reddit, on Facebook, and I hope you like it too because we will be trying to bring you more graphs like this and more analysis like this in the future. So let me try to bring now the data. I hope we have it. I'm gonna refresh. I think it should be live. 8 minutes to go until the formation lap. Yeah, we have the data on screen. As I mentioned before, uh, there are some changes on the layout. So now you have a lot bigger timings. I hope you like them because I got a feedback from many people saying that it is too small, that they can't read the letters and then they really want to follow. Also, the minimap is now not that mini, it's a bit bigger. But the live messages from the team radios are a bit smaller, although I separated them in two rows. So you will see once the countdown is gone, they will be all moving, and hopefully you will still find them useful, even though they are a bit smaller and maybe harder to read. But I think it's more important to read the timings than what the drivers are saying because Grash is going to be covering that too. Yeah, let me know if you have any feedback, any suggestions, anything else you want to see on the stream. But I think this is probably the most important things. Already 1,000 people watching, 200 likes. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you for liking the stream and subscribing. And if you haven't already, please do so because it really helps the stream and the channel, and it's free to do. So thank you. For those wondering, yeah, the track is dry. There's no rain. We can't say for sure that there's not gonna be any rain, but at least the start seems is gonna be dry. The risk of rain right now I'm seeing from FIA says it's increased actually. It's 60%. So there's a quite decent chance of rain, even though we're gonna start in the dry. There is there's a chance of rain that might steer things up, and I think a lot of the drivers are hoping for a rain because it's hard to overtake here, and the rain would bring chaos in, and some could really benefit. I don't think the McLaren guys are really fond of it because they kind of expect this to be one to win and they get ahead of the grid and just battle it between themselves. But except for them, I think all the others could potentially benefit from a little bit of rain and maybe some forced pit stops. Burnbry says that's gone up from 50% chance of rain an hour ago. Yeah, I think before that they were even saying it's 40%, then 50, now 60. So the clouds are getting heavier around the track apparently. Cloudy says, "Will Rosberg jinx the weather?" I don't know what did Rosberg said, but anyway, I'm gonna leave you to it. You know, now we have to summon Grash, so do your thing in chat. Type G's in chat to summon Grash for your commentator. And I'm gonna actually start doing that. Okay, let's go.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or maybe dead at night for wherever you may be. This is the Race Statistics channel, and you are listening to our live coverage of the Dutch Grand Prix Race Along. Again, this is Grash with you today. Yeah, big news this morning is the back of the grid. Stroll is being allowed to compete because he set a representative time. He's going to be 19th on the grid because Behrman's going to be they decided to break Park Ferme on him. He basically has basically a new car in terms of all the parts he took, everything but the chassis. So look at him potentially charging through the field with new parts. Gotten extra power in there. I want to thank everyone here right now, like Maki, Che, Andrew, Paula is here. If I haven't said your name, now's a great time to put something in chat. These are the people who are throwing a few bucks each month, month on month, basically as supporters in chat. I want to thank some Ackerman over in Twitch chat, another supporter over in Twitch. A lot of you are predicting some fireworks between McLaren. Some people think something might happen, and that will take them out, or one of them will be out, and that will move up Max and Isaac into the move Max a second, Isaac onto the podium. Again, right now our grid right now is Oscar is on pole, Norris is on the second, on the other outside. On P2, Max is third. Isaac Kaja is fourth. Best start in his career so far. Russell's fifth. Leclerc is sixth. Hamilton seventh. Lawson, his Isaac's teammate, is starting eighth. Sainz outperforming Albon this weekend, starting ninth with Alonso 10th. Antonelli is on the outside, on the back half of the grid, 11th. Snowda 12th. Borrell 13th. Gasly 14th. Albon is 15th. Colby is 16th. Hulberg 17th. Ocon 18th. And again, the news right now is Stroll was being allowed to start on the start. Again, he has a representative lap in practice that will allow him to start. So he's going to be 19th because Behrman basically is going to be 20th, and he's a pit lane start. They basically, again, like I said, they replaced the ICE, the electronics, the both HMUK and the H. Yeah, it's like there's a document about changes on cars overnight. It's basically seven different pieces, all Behrman. So one of the things they're trying to do this year is there two changes. First, they've upped the pit lane speed from 60 to 80 kilometers a mile. So that there's thinking that will shave off 3 to 4 seconds on the pit stops. That is yet to be seen. And then the other scenario, the other thing that we're dealing with is that they've changed the compounds they normally use. Last year, I believe they used the C1, C2, C3. They've moved them all up one compound, a C2, C3, C4, and they're trying to force a two-stop strategy on these cars. If they really wanted that, I think the next step would be to go up to the C5, jump up another step, go C3, C4, C5, but we shall see. Why are they not racing? Because they haven't started yet. We're about a minute away from top of the hour, and we'll get the formation lap when that hits. So we're almost there. Now's a great time to like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the bell, you'll get notifications. Over on Twitch, if you follow and you've got your notifications set up, you'll get those appropriately. We are on other platforms. I know TikTok and Facebook are two of the other platforms we support, particularly on Facebook. If you find again, it's Racing Statistics on Facebook. So formation lap. So basically right now, and then we have hit the top of the hour, the formation lap has started. So basically the cars start on the grid, and then they do basically a lap around the circuit and line back up. We call this the formation lap. The real purpose of the formation lap is to give drivers a chance to put some energy into their tires, bring them up to a more working get them up to a more working operational state before the race begins. Has the track locked up? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Paula. Again, we have about I think like 50-60% chance of rain during the race. We have It's not raining right now. Track is dry, but there is a chance for rain later on. Norris has the inside. So Brain Brought R says that Norris has the inside. If Oscar gets a slow start, will he make? Oh yeah, no. If Oscar gets a slow start, will jump on that and will take the lead. Right now, Oscar's leading him around turn 14, back to the start-finish line, back to the grid. So we're about a minute or so. We'll give it about 2 minutes, and this race will be on its way. We gotta wait for everyone to get back into their pit boxes. Where's Spearman? Oh, there he is. Okay. I was looking for Ollie Behrman. So, with one of the rule changes this year is that even if you're a pit lane start, you still take the formation lap. So what happens is Behrman, after everyone goes around the pit lane exit, Behrman goes out from the back. Or how many? Again, we had like 3 in one race, so they all come out, they go around, and then come back into the pit lane and line up at the pit lane exit line. Why do they have wet tires if they red flag the race before they go? Because in theory they could, if they weren't dealing. It's not that it's not the rain itself that's causing the red flag. It's the spray, and it's something that Pirelli's been working on with that wet tire, is making it more and more usable. Here we go. We have a green flag at the back, and we have 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are racing in the Netherlands. And Max is going to get a jump on, I think, Norris. Yep. Max has moved up to P2. And it's Max and Norris fighting right now. Oh, Max has gone 1, but it's ultimately, when things sort out, is going to be Oscar first, Max second, Norris third, Isaac fourth. Russell losing a place to Leclerc. Alonso down 3 places. Albon up 5 places, up behind his teammate now. That's a strong start for Albon. Borrello's dropped 6 places. Palpino's dropped a place. Tsunoda up to 11th. Alonso and Antonelli, they're fighting at the moment. So we've got almost through a full. That was a crazy start. What a start. Basically, Max went for it and lunged for it. We already have a second gap between Oscar, Max, and Norris. So the DRS change right now is starting with Norris down to basically everyone's in the DRS range at this moment. We will see DRS, I think, activated in the next lap. We're on lap 2 now. Again, oh no, DRS is enabled this lap. I thought it was going to be another lap, but DRS is enabled here now, lap 2. So we're coming around turn 7. Our first opportunity is in a few seconds. Just before turn 10 is the detection zone for the first DRS zone. The other one is after turn 12. And the first zone is basically where, and Oscar's coming to us, from turn 10 to almost to turn 11. after turn 12 is the second DRS zone. And that will be, the next zone is from the middle of from 13 to 14 all the way to turn 1. So it's a very long DRS zone. And Oscar has moved up 1.6. Verstappen has moved up 1.4 from Norris. And then we've got a second, almost 0.9 behind Isaac. So we got our first lap times coming in into 1:15.7 for Oscar, fastest lap. Verstappen does a 1:16.3, Norris 16.6, Isaac 16.5, Leclerc does a 1:17, Russell's a 16.8. So we're in the high, exception for Max and Oscar, we're in the high 1:16s at the top of the field, with Leclerc being 1:17. We don't see another 1:17 lap time until we get to Albon, which is 10th. And then it drops all the way down to Behrman, who's a 1:16. But though he is in clean air because he is still in the pit lane start, he hasn't fully catch up to the back of the pack just yet. Big movers right now. Obviously, Max has moved up one place. Norris has dropped one down. Leclerc has moved up a place. Russell has dropped down one. The biggest mover right now is Albon making up 5 places on that first lap. Our biggest droppers right now would be Alonso and Borrell, who just dropped to Stroll has been passed. I'm sorry, Borrell has been passed by Stroll. You guys have questions in chat, feel free to ask. We're happy to answer them for you. If we say something you don't understand or a term you don't know, please answer it. Please ask. More than willing to answer those questions. The gap right now, Oscar to Max is 1.7. The gap to Norris is 1.5. Isaac has moved. Norris has moved 1.2 ahead of Isaac, so that makes Isaac now the virtual head of this DRS chain. Just got broken. Science is just broken, and he's 1 second back now from Lawson. So we're starting to spread out. What happened to Isaac 1.2? It's not that. That's not that bad. Where he is right now, I mean, basically he was behind. Norris has pushed ahead. Is basically what has happened. And Sainz did not get DRS this lap. And that's going to drop him back 1.2 behind Lawson. So he's clearly out of DRS range right now. It's probably going to stay that way. So we got a chain from Isaac to Lawson, and then a Sainz down to Borrell. Behrman is still a second and a half off the back. Oscar's being told there's a bit of rain coming. Lap 7 again. We're on lap 5. 68 laps to go in this race. Mason just joined. How did Albon go up 5 places? He did that on the first lap, TNB. I don't know how exactly he did it because they haven't shown a replay of how he did it. Right now, they're focusing on the lead of the race, where Max getting a jump on Lando and managing to keep that advantage on him. And Barlow had a horrible start. He was passed by several cars on the right. His start was just horrible. Question: is the Dutch GP leaving the calendar for after 2026 season is good or a bad mistake? It's more of it is what it is type scenario. I mean, one of the things that we're dealing with is that F1 has grown much more popular, much more profitable is the other issue. It's more of a business move. And it's not. And my understanding is Spa will be back at some point. It's part of the cycle of tracks that will come on and off the grid. Now they're in a scenario where they've got so many tracks that want to be part of the calendar. They're now in a position where they can cycle a track on and off, year on, year off. So I think Spa will be back. Will be back. It just won't be here in next year. This was a incident with Stroll and Borletto with a collision, so that has been noted. Oscar again with the new fastest lap again with 1:15.251. Again, we're on lap 7 of 72. We have 66 laps to go in this race. I mean, one of the things that we are dealing with right now is that we are seeing new tracks come online. Again, we've got a new track next year in Madrid. I mean, we'll be racing 2 times. We'll be racing the Spanish Grand Prix and the Madrid Grand Prix next year. So we'll be twice in Spain next year. Hope you're not too late. We just started seeing the only thing you've missed so far is that Max has gone ahead of Norris, Clerk ahead of Russell. Albon has made up 5 places. That is, we have to figure out how that. And then Bortolao has been dropping like a rock. Yeah, Bortolao did not start good at all. They showed his start, and he just basically was a rock in place, and cars just went right past him. He had a clutch issue. Okay, that's why he didn't gauge. And Lando just managed to make a pass around Max. Very clean move too, and he's picked up and he's accelerated away. These are 8, 10, 9, 10. So he will be about a second away already. Yeah, and he's already a second ahead of. First Stroll has come in. Looks like he might have taken damage. Been a horrible weekend for Stroll. So right now, Norris, that fight basically is allowed Oscar to get 4.6 seconds ahead. Now, granted, uh, Norris is going to charge. Lando's going to charge on Oscar now. Now he effectively has clean air between him to Norris at the time. Yeah, right now. Who's saying don't expect any rain before lap 13? That's another 3 laps. Again, trying to see which keeping an eye on on the sky at the moment. It's white. I mean, it's overcast, but it's not nothing that's dark that would produce rain at the moment. Arrow Valley, is everyone doing one pit or two pit? We suspect, um, and we racing control is basically will do no further investigation. They're basically saying it's a racing incident between Stroll and Borrello. Is everyone doing one pit or two pit? We suspect that they might be doing two stops. The tire compounds are higher, one step higher than they were last year, so we expect more degradation to to allow for a two-stop strategy. But we're seeing a lot of people are on medium tires. Several people, Max and Sonoda, Colpino, and Hulkenberg are on soft tires, so they could easily be on a two-stop strategy with other people being on a one. It's still potential for a one-stop strategy right now. We'll have to see how far they push those medium tires. Again, we've done 10 laps on soft tires so far, and they're all fresh soft tires. No one has used any used tires as of yet. Any rain? Do we expect rain might happen in the next 5 minutes or so, and that keeps moving to the next 5 minutes? And Norris has cut about 7 tenths already into Oscar's lead. He's got a 3.5 gap to Max. So Norris is charging right now. He has the fastest lap of 114.7, 2 tenths faster than his teammate over the last lap. Excuse me. Then 1.2 seconds faster than Max. Isaac right now did a 115.8. He's about a tenth faster than about a half tenth faster than Max at the moment. He gap between those two is 1.9. Leclerc is still within range of Isaac. Russell down to Sonoda have pulled back several seconds. There's a train from Sonoda down to Gasly. Colpino just dropped out, so it's just Sonoda and the Alonso at the moment. Colpino jumping in and out, did Gasly, and then we've got the back five. Stroll is 12 seconds off. He has pitted, so he is effectively in clean air back there. While you're pointing out that Isaac right now is still in P4 holding off Charles. Charles is 0.7 behind. Right now what you guys are saying in chat. Will Norris slow down to not be in the dirty air? Oh no, he's in clean air right now. Effectively, he's charging to catch up to Oscar right now. The gap between is now 3.4, so it's another 0.5 off of Oscar. So Barlow's car is damaged. Behrman has made an appeal to see if he gets a. Basically, it's called the meatball flag. It's a mechanical flag. Basically, something's wrong with the car. You need to come in, have it fixed. He's being made fun of for just not passing him on F1 TV, which is funny. Any news of rain? No news as of yet in terms of rain. We're still waiting for the rain to come. I mean, it was supposed to be forecasted for around lap 10. It just hasn't happened. So now anytime in the next 5 laps ongoing, that rain could hit. Again, now Oscar right now is only has a gap of 3.4. So one of the things is that they've noticed that Stroll hit debris on track, and that forced him to come into pit. And the way that Stroll has been acting this weekend, they're pretty much on F1 TV basically outright asking if Stroll purposely hit the debris to get a puncher to come in to pit to get a new set of tires. Because he has pitted, he's on hard tires. He can go to the rest of the. He can, if he decides to tire, he could go the entire race on these set of hard tires. So we're definitely out of the operating windows of those soft tires. Max is now, he did a 116.034. Norris is a second faster, 115.065. Norris right now, the gap to Oscar is 3.1, so it's another 2 tenths, 2 to 3 tenths on Oscar. So it's going to be interesting where the soft runners. That's going to be Max. It's going to be Sonoda. It's going to be Colapino. It's going to be Hulkenberg. Who's going to pit? Who's going to pit first in that group? Can they pit anytime? Well, this is more. So they are Bortoletto's unsafe condition has been noted. They've yet to throw the Meccano flag on him, which is the black and orange, which is referred to as the meatball. So the rain is now starting to fall. I don't know where on the track though. Is the first question. Who Russell's last lap was deleted. So far I've noticed Leclerc and Russell have track limit violations so far. When you get, I think 2, you will get a black and white flag. Either 2 or 3, you get a black and white flag, and then after that, you will get a penalty. Right now, it's light rain on track. Antonelli right now on the back end of Sonoda. They are the closest right now. The only other would be Alonso to Antonelli, and then Behrman to Borrello. I suspect Behrman's complaining about Borrello, so. So right now the wind is 8.3 kilometers from the southwest is our last reading. It is picking up. It's been very gusty weekend, and that has definitely affected during qualification. How far ahead are Oscar and Norris? That would be the gap you're looking for. So right now Norris is Oscar's the leader. The gap in interval is the same for Norris because he's P2. Max is 9.9 seconds behind Norris right now. and the gap is 13 seconds. Isaac is 2.5 behind Verstappen, but the gap to Oscar is 15.8, almost 16 seconds now. Leclerc is 17.2 back. But to be saying there's like a train of people, not as much as they have spread out. It's not where we had basically from Isaac all the way down to P19 in a DRS train for a little while. They have spread out, so it's less of a train now. When we use the word train, basically we mean basically they are the only train right now officially would be Tsunoda, Anthony Alonso. So we got reports of light rain, but nothing that would make the track in a wet situation where we would want to go to where we would need to go to intermediates. Fix the focus. Your screens are blurred. So Six Strange Aliens. One of the things that's on YouTube is that basically YouTube has dynamic resolution. And so if it thinks that you've got a lower internet connection, it will drop you down to a lower resolution. There's a gear icon where you can click on and select, and there's a menu option there to select your resolution by hand to force it to be in a specific resolution, regardless of your internet connection. Borrello went from bad. Yeah, he basically didn't dropped his clutch. Basically, had a bad start, then had a collision with Stroll. And Alonso has pitted. He has gone. He's the first one to pit. He's gone to a new hard tire. So Colbin and Hulkenberg all pitting right now. So Tsunoda did a 3.2 stop. Not a great. Could be worse, but not a great stop. Rain is coming down harder right now as we speak. But I don't know if we're at a point where the track is considered still wet. Again, we just had Alonso, Tsunoda, Colapino, Hulkenberg all drop in for. They've all pitted for hard tires, so for slicks. Yeah. So in terms of intensity, they're talking about it about like a half a grade, like a 0.5, where one is light rain. Inders, these are the green marked tires. These are intended for when the track is wet. So a good rain will bring out inners. So the wet tires we refer to, it's a wet and intermediates are wet tires, and then all our other compounds we refer to them as slicks because there's no grooves on those tires to push out rain. That's the big difference. Is that the inters and the wets have grooves on them to displace water from the tire, and this is your all-around tire that you may drive on has these. Yeah, Bierman has not pitted yet. He's moved up 5 places. He was a pit lane start and started P20. Stroll is another beneficiary. He pitted took damage with his collision with Bortoletto. so he pitted early on to get onto the hard tire early, and he's a beneficiary. He's got in track position based on that. Back at the top of the race, basically, Oscar is our leader right now, though he is basically fighting off Lando. Right now, Lando is about 3.4 off. That's been 3.5 to 3.2 down to a 3. So there's a 0.5 second, half a second gap moving up and down from 3 to 3.5. Yeah, it says Hemi needs to push for that. He was just on the radio saying that it's hard to make a to pass, so they're gonna need an undercut. So Leclerc just came in. Give a time a stop. So Leclerc had a 2.2 stop time, which is a very good pit stop. Ham off. Ham. Oh, we have yellow flag. Oh, Hamilton is off the track. He's hit the wall. Turn 3. Safety car. So we have a safety car while we deal with Hamilton off the track. Bartlow is into the pits right now. He has a stop 2.8 stop time, which is not that bad. Basically, anything under, as a rule of thumb, anything under 3 seconds, good for relatively good stop. Better stops are closer to 2. Hamilton is out of the race. He has hit the wall. So people are stopping right now. Norris, Oscar just did a 2.6 stop. Norris, slow 4.5 stop for Norris. That's a bad stop for Norris. That will allow Max to move up, and it'll give Oscar a bigger jump on him. So right now, people are pitting right now to take advantage of this. And I believe Max did a 3.4 stop. Isaac does a 2.8 stop, so that's going to give him a big jump on Max. See where people come out. That, I think, effectively cut the gap from Isaac to Max in half. So Max went out onto a medium tire. So Max did 23 laps on a soft tire. He's got 49 laps to go in this race. He's gone onto a medium tire. So it's very likely that Max has gone onto a 2-stop strategy. What happened to Lewis? Lewis went into the wall at turn 3. Yeah. So Hamilton just basically ran out of room. Went wide, ran out of but ran out of room, hits the wall. So we've gone from a virtual. We've got a full safety car out right now. That should bunch everyone up. We'll see how long this goes, but that should give Norris a chance to catch up closer to Oscar. It should, again, how long this goes, basically. Depending on how long this goes, we could have all our races bunched up, which is eliminating the gap that McLaren created in the first part of this lap, as the first part of this race. Again, we were on lap 25 of 72. We've got 48 laps to go, so we're 1/3 through this race so far. Again, this is the Race Statistics YouTube Race Statistics channel. We're on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, and maybe a few others. This is Grash doing commentary for you. Guys that just got here, how did Lewis go out? He crashed the wall. talent issue. That's basically how I would put it. It's the same location, approximately the same location where Stroll was, just a little bit further down. Actually, I'd say actually Stroll went in early, where Lewis went a little bit further. He if he had more room, if there was any more room to give there. Yeah. Yeah, so where Stroll went right into the wall, Hamilton had a bit of a recovery before he hit the wall. Again, if he had like another 2-3 meters of room, he probably would have pulled it off, and he would not have hit the wall. So I think one of the big stories right now, there's 3 stories right now in this race that's worth pointing out. One, basically, Max and Norris have been fighting early on, but Lando um, managed to get ahead of Max back into P2 on track. Now what was in the restart right now, that story is that Max is going to have a tire advantage of being on a medium, where Norris is on a hard. Next story is Isaac. He's managed to stay in 4th position, holding off Russell and Leclerc. Russell's gotten ahead of Leclerc. So Russell's P5 back where he started. Russell P6. The other big story: Ocon up 9 places, and Albon up 5 places. So Ocon into the points, Albon into the points. So Sainz and Albon are 2 double points for Williams, double points for the Racing Bulls, double points for McLaren right now. Bortolo's had a horrible day. Start ended badly. Lost 5 places right there. Then had a collision with Stroll. Stroll, ironically, is up 7 places from starting, where Bortolo's the back of the pack. And Behrman's managed to, pit lane start managed to get ahead. Though he is basically ahead of everyone by virtue of not pitting. The only 2 people who have not pitted Arcon and Behrman. And so the Haas's are going long on these hard tires. What about Hamilton? What happened? Hamilton hit the wall. Safety car in this lap. Safety car is ending. So we are about to restart. Here we are coming around 13 to 14 right now. And now Oscar's making the jump. And he's going to get a good jump. So effectively, Oscar made the jump at turn 13. So Russell's trying to get past Isaac, but he's not able to do so at the moment. So we are back to green flag running right now. Lawson just dropped out of points, and it looks like an incident with Lawson and Hulkenberg. Oh no, Sainz and Lawson collided. And Dilly getting ahead of Ocon up to 8th. He's up 3 positions now into the points. So Sainz and Lawson collided. I didn't see the replay, didn't get to see the action. Wait until they do a replay on that. I can tell you who, but it's Lawson and Sainz effectively. Yeah, they were in points. Lawson has a puncture. Attention, after this, there will be only tire safety. No. I suspect Max is going to pit again. We haven't seen a pit from Ocon. We haven't seen a pit so the Haas's haven't pit. Again, I know everyone has gone onto a hard strategy, but Max is not on that strategy, and Ocon and Beerman are not on that strategy as well. So there was a collision between Lawson and Science. Yeah, and unfortunately, that basically brought those two pretty much to a standstill on track, and pretty much everyone has passed them. They're now at the back of the grid. They've both pitted right now. They're in the pits. Um, Putting new tires on. So they're putting soft tires onto Lawson, and they're trying to fix something on Science. Science had a 13.2 stop. So we're going through the replay. So they've restarted. They've passed the start finish line. Going to turn one. And Lawson comes up. Yeah, Lawson comes up on the inside. Science just called him stupid and always the same guy. Yeah, pretty much that Lawson moved up. And then there, yeah, turn one is involving Lawson. Science has been noted. Effectively, Lawson lost his tire on that. So Lawson moved up, and his rear left tire hit the wing of Science, and basically got a puncture. Not just a puncture; he just lost the entire wheel, effectively. Um, it's involving Barlow. Unsafe for condition. Why are they? I don't understand why they're going to investigate. I mean, throw the mechanical flag or not. And we have again Lawson behind Science, and they are fighting like they are in P2, P3. So Science has gone ahead of Lawson. He's about a second ahead. They have both effectively fallen back a lap at this point. So they are effectively blue. They're basically will be getting blue flags effectively at this point. Where are they? They're right now behind Antonelli on track. But if Stroll makes a charge and he moves up, they would get blue flags at that point. What happened to Hamilton? Hamilton crashed into turn three, hit the wall further ahead than where Stroll did, and then stopped on the outside past the curve, whereas Stroll ended up crashing on the curve, basically, effectively. What is a blue flag? So basically, when a car, so if it when basically a car is about to be lapped, a blue flag is shown to that driver to allow faster traffic, the traffic ahead. So basically, back markers aren't allowed to be aren't allowed to affect the race effectively. If you're about to be lapped, they're telling you to get the blue flag is to tell you to get out of the way so that so you get out of the way of the leader, so you're not affecting the race in that particular way. That is a F1 rule. All right, and I will put that in perspective. That is an F1 rule. It's not a rule, and the safety car has been deployed. Why? Debris on track. So we're neutralizing the race right now because there is debris on track. Ooh, it's a piece of carbon fiber. It's on a curve. No. There's more. No, it's so just past the start finish line. There is a debris on track. It's in the middle of the track, so it's in the racing line. So right now we're neutralizing the race so we can get a marshal to get that off the track. And I can see the marshal right now who will jump out. And the VSC is now ending now that they've got that piece off. I'm not sure who Debris was that on track. What's the difference between gap and interval? So the gap basically is Clear and Russell are fighting right away, and Clerk's going to get ahead of Russell. So Russell napping gets caught by Leclerc. So 2 questions right now. Gap versus interval. So interval is the difference between driver to driver, and Russell is trying to take that position back. He is right behind Leclerc. Russell tried to go on the inside. He does the switch on the outside. Leclerc is just defending well. We've got a fight right now. I'll get your questions in a moment. And again, there's science is getting the time penalty for causing a collision. Yeah, wow. We'll see about penalty points later on, Lou. It's probably 2. It could be 3, but we'll get a what happened. Science. So science basically coming into turn 1. There was collision between Sainz and Lawson. The stewards have decided to penalize Sainz for the incident. And yeah, Leclerc makes a dive on the inside and manages to hold it and get that. Gets ahead of Russell. Gap right now is now 1 point. So gap is so the interval is the difference between each driver. So right now, Max to Isaac is a 1.2 gap. The gap between Isaac to Leclerc is 1.4 right now. Russell's fallen back 1.1 behind Leclerc. The gap is from that car to the leader. So right now, Norris has a gap in 1.8 because he's P2, but the interval is 1.9 Max. But the gap is so the interval is to Norris. The gap is to Oscar. So that's 3.7. So what's the difference between the VSC and other safety cars? So VSC is in scenarios where it's shorter, smaller incidents where they can neutralize. Where basically they can neutralize them quickly. Because if they put the safety car out, it's out for at least 5 laps minimum. The first 2, it will go out. It'll take a lap to get it out. It'll take another lap to get into the position. So this is a safety car comes when you actually are going to neutralize the race for a long period of time. A virtual safety car is going to neutralize the race smaller amount of time. And we have another yellow flag. Looking at why we have a yellow flag, track surface. So basically, they were noting that there's slippery track surface. That yellow flag has been resolved. What are the quotes at the bottom? That's the radio. So think of it as the radio. So it's the radio between the driver and his engineer. So we don't know. Most of the time, it's probably going to be the engineer talking to the driver, but responses back. So there is instant collision between Russell and Leclerc. So they're gonna look at it as a collision, not as leaving the track and getting an advantage scenario. So they're under. Clerk and Russell on that restart is now under investigation. So it was noted now it's going to be investigated. We'll see if they put out a penalty. Someone in chat is saying the so-called quote 7-time world champion is just a downgrade from science. And that looks like it came from Science's car. And yeah, so they were picking up debris on the track again. That's why the yellow flag came out, I believe. Right now we're on lap 37 of 72. There are 36 laps left. So we're halfway through this race as it is right now. Been interesting, has been strategy, has had collisions. We've had safety car. And we've got multiple different strategies in play right now. We suspect that Max has gone on to a two-stop strategy. We know that Ocon and Bierman are on one-stop strategy. They've already got this race on a hard tire. I suspect that they will go, so 36 left. They'll go another 14, 15 laps maybe on those hard tires in pit for mediums. That would put them in a 24, 25 lap range to the end of the race. Yeah, Stroll right now has had an interesting race. Started 19th. He pitted early, managed to pit early, hit debris, managed to pit early to go on to hard tire, and he's now made up 10 places. Asking about Alonso about the balance, and he goes off on his engineer about he doesn't know, he's in traffic. Good morning, Scott. Scones and butter, my friend. Scones and butter. Moving on right now. Again, right now we've got our top of the race right now is Oscar's leading. He's only 1.5 seconds back from Norris. That is half from before the first safety car. Verstappen has dropped back 2.5 seconds. Isaac's dropped back 1. Leclerc is now P5. Managed to get a pass on Leclerc, but that's being investigated. He's currently a second behind Isaac. Russell's 2.8 back. Antonelli's dropped back 1.3 from Russell. Albon is 3 seconds back from there. Stroll is P9, 6.6 seconds back. Ocon is 1.8 back, and Bierman is 1.3 back. Effectively, he's 23 seconds back at the race right now. Antonelli is 11 seconds back. Leclerc 6.7, Isaac 4.5 from the leader, and Verstappen 4.2 from the leader. So right now, Isaac is about 2/10 behind Max. His last lap, so Max did a 14.7 and Isaac did a 14.9. He's about 2/10 behind Max from the previous lap. So racing for Red Bull is classified as demotion. That's more of a joke, Jenna. Red Bull is one of the top 4 teams. It's just that right now, Red Bull is in a bad place. They've built a car that only really suits Max Verstappen, and it's still not the best car. Two, also, because that car suits Max so well, so much, the second driver, whether it's been Checo, whether it's been, Lawson, whether it's Yuki, or other, and we can go back even further before Checo. We've got Albon. We've got I think Gasly. Maybe he was in the car for a while as well. So we've had a road, with the exception of for like 3 years, 4 years, we've had basically a rotating cast of characters going through that second driver position. I mean, it go back to the last person who was stable in that second position was Ricardo, and Ricardo chose to leave on his own accord. Did Russell get a penalty? What did he do? I don't believe. It's still under investigation. The last I saw that it's still under investigation. And NLE has passed Russell. Russell is dropping back. Uh, 49 laps, not on the medium. It'd be on the hard tire. Again, I would think they would go at least another 6 to 9 laps on those hard tires before considering going on to a medium. And that would allow them to charge hard at the end of this race. Should it rain, please? It has rained a little bit, but not a lot. We had an situation to intermediate, so the track has not been declared wet in shape or form. And that is something to be aware about. The track, the condition of the track is something that is declared. So until the track is declared wet, they're not really allowed to use the intermediate. Max in trouble? Max not in trouble. Max is starting to fall out of his operating range with those tires. He's gone 18 laps on those medium tires, whereas like right now, Isaac is just a half a tenth faster than Max this past lap. So Oscar did a 113.9. Norris is 2 tenths back, 114.1 last lap. Max is doing 9 tenths behind that, 15.0. Isaac does a 15 point. So Max and Isaac are switching off half a tenth at the moment. Yeah, Isaac is not. He's 1.6 back, but he's not moving up on Max right now. He's stable with Max, but he's not pushing. He's not gaining on Max at the moment. Again, the big story right now, in the middle, basically, we've got lap 43. We've got 30 laps to go in this race. Biggest story: Hamilton went off track at turn 3, hit the wall, brought out a safety car. He is out. After that, Sainz and Lawson had a collision shortly after that restart. That dropped him to the back of the field. They are currently a lap down and getting we will be getting blue flags as required. Alonso not doing particularly well after that. He just pitted for his third time to a hard tire. So he's going to go. So they went 18 on medium, 20 on the hard, and then he's going to go the last. I assume that he's going to go 31 laps on a hard tire. It is not raining. There was a moment where there was some light drizzle, a drizzle, which is so it wasn't on the category from 1 to 5. It was a 0.5. The collision between Sainz and Lawson did generate a 10-second penalty on Sainz. Incident between Clerk and Russell will investigate it after the race. I don't know why race control is doing this. That should be determined now, not 30 laps from after 30 laps from now. What has McLaren done to the cars they are dominating? Several things. It's not one thing that McLaren has done. It appears to be that there are several things that they've done. One of the things that we talked about earlier in the season is that they've added a coating essentially on the side of their. It's a phase shift material. So basically, the physics is that there's four basic states of matter. There is solid, there's liquid, there's vapor, and then there's plasma state. Plasma is rarer of the three. But essentially, when you go from like solid to liquid or liquid to vapor, there's a huge amount of energy you have to put into the material to get to that next state. And so what McLaren has found is a material that they can spray on the inside of the tires, and when they put heat into it, it sucks up that heat. So they never get it's a material where they can heat it up, but that material doesn't move to the next state of matter. They never get it. They never get it into enough energy to get it into the next state of matter, and for that reason, that material keeps at a constant temperature. And that's one of the things that has been speculated in what McLaren has done. They've mastered that already. And that's what that material is, and the temperature range, and all that. That's pH level, PhD level material science. I went to my undergraduate had they're a research university, and they have a very strong material research laboratory on campus. So that's something that a PhD student out of that lab would have done. $2 donation. Thanks to the physics lessons crash. Again, I've explained it the best I possibly can without. Again, after that, all of the specifics is like high level math that no clue what to tell you about. Looking at right now. I saw that my mic is cutting in and out. I am stopping talking, so that's what you're hearing. What happened to the air zones? Oh, that's good. That's a good question. I don't know why they're missing, but essentially, the DRS zone is before turn 10, and it's from turn 10 to 11, and the next DRS zone detection point is after turn 12, and the DRS zone is from 14 all the way to turn 1. What happened to Lewis? Lewis crashed at turn 3 and is out of the race. Yeah, the gap is 10 seconds to Oscar. It's 8.8 seconds behind Norris. Isaac right now is 2.3 behind Max, which is pretty. He's losing a little bit of time effectively, but we'll look at Leclerc right now. He's faster than Leclerc by a few tenths. So the gap to Leclerc is 2.2, 2.3. So those are, not, if you're just looking at Isaac to Max is one thing. Isaac is Leclerc, or Isaac to Anthony or Russell is the other one you want to be looking at, whoever's behind him. Fakor joining the fans again. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the family, my friend. Again, a 10-pound donation. You can do it, Max. Go, go, go. We'll see, Paula. He is effectively 9 seconds behind Lando right now. Almost 9.5 seconds now. So right now he is on the podium. Renee, I'm out. Too much advertising. We can't control that, unfortunately, Renee. YouTube has decided to take when ads should be run out of our hands. An umbrella, having a hot, spicy take. Prepared to be jumped on by a bunch of other people in chat for your hot take. Just saying that you are either brave or don't know what mud pool you've just stepped into. Well, I know something can get the gap under a second. I know. Um, it is, he's managed to get the gap half to where it was because of the safety car again. Why was he not paying attention more when he should have been paying more of attention when Oscar was going to make this jump to start on the restart, and he didn't. He let him get away. But essentially, we have a couple of worlds right now. Oscar and Norris are in their own little world. Verstappen and Isaac are in their own. Leclerc and Antonelli are in their own little. Russell, Science, back to Lost in Earth, and each of them are in their little worlds at the moment. Then we have Stroll, and then we've got Ocon back to Alonso at this point. £5 donation for the time I wasn't a member. Glad the season has restarted. So welcome back again. Are you saying we won't see a Norris win? Not that we're seeing. We'll have to take a mistake by Oscar right now. It's not that it's unlikely we're going to see a Lando win. So effectively, we're going to watch. Again, like right now, Oscar's leading Norris in the championship, and this is going to extend that lead by by 7 points, which would basically double his lead on Norris right now. Sainz is not happy that he's got a penalty. He wants to talk to the. He still has a 10-second penalty which he needs to serve. But he is not happy with that. We have a poll in YouTube right now. Who was at fault in the Sainz versus Lawson collision? It was Sainz. It wasn't an incident. I think ultimately Sainz is at fault because he was the car behind. What you guys are saying right now. Who has penalty? Sainz has a penalty. Yeah, it ended up causing a collision with Lawson. We are on lap 51 with 52 laps to go. Again, this is the Race Statistic channel. This is Crash with you with live coverage with our watch along on the Dutch Grand Prix. Again, we are watch along, so we are, if you're not, you're intended to be watching an official stream, whether it's F1 TV, Sky, ESPN Plus, or who is providing coverage in your country. I know a couple of you don't watch along, just listen to us. We thank you for that. But we're the expectation for most of you is you've got at least the video. You may have muted the audio for some cases. I know a lot of people here in the United States who watch football mute whoever is mute the TV broadcast and put on the radio broadcast for the game instead. Loose, IJ is waiting for Max tire to start to degrade, and that's a possibility. He has gone 30 laps on medium tires. We do have 21 laps to go in this race. And no, he's just pitted. It's going to drop him back to eighth, maybe a little bit more. He's going on soft tires for the last 20 laps of this race. And he's going to come out. That's Verstappen and I think it's Verstappen and Isaac we're looking at. No, that's Antonelli being ahead of Lawson on. Now, granted, Lawson has been dropped a whole lap. He's a lap behind due to an incident with having collided with Sainz. They both pitted and took time to make changes to the car. Here comes Leclerc coming in the pits. So he went 31 laps on that hard tire. And they are putting on a soft tire. So this is definitely three-stop strategy for Leclerc and Antonelli. Oh, and Antonelli and Leclerc. Oh, did he touch him? Oh, Leclerc is out. Leclerc is out. There was contact. Oh, gee. The Leclerc crashed. And safety car will come out. I'm going to take a look at that one more time. Was there... So Leclerc comes out. So Leclerc gets ahead of Antonelli, but Antonelli has better tires. It goes around. Yeah, it looks like the Antonelli did touch Leclerc. And Leclerc basically is turned around, goes on the wall. So this is bringing people in. McLaren is pitting right now. Max is going to pit in. I suspect Isaac's going to come in the pit. So this is a free pit forever for these leaders, essentially. Russell's going to be promoted to fifth, and Albon sixth, Antonelli seventh, Behrman eighth, Sonoda ninth, and Gasly the 10th. Yeah, Leclerc is out. And this has been a weekend of horrors for Ferrari. And someone do a check of life on Matt Gallagher, the Matt and Tommy P1 podcast host, who is a Tafrosi. Definitely look on YouTube later today because there will be a clip of him to Leclerc crashing. A Dutch nightmare for Ferrari before Monza. Ooh, that's the best way to describe it. Antonelli comes in. It's a 1.4 stop. They are, looks like they, so we're looking at the replay from Antonelli. So he comes in and so Antonelli's front right tire comes in, hits the, he basically hits the back, so the front right tire hits the rear left tire of Leclerc. That's what caused the spin out. And Antonelli took a little bit of damage. Again, right now, Leclerc had just pitted. So, yeah, double retirement for Ferrari this weekend. WF is wild. Yeah, this is definitely wild for WF. What happened to Ferrari? Again, about 3 laps ago, Hamilton crashed into turn 3. And we just had an incident between Sainz and Antonelli. Leclerc went into the wall and is out. He's out of the car. He's out of the car. He's okay. pissed. Or needs an old priest and a young priest. Is that your way? They need a prayer. Scott. Moving on. Right now, at the moment, again, we are under the safety car right now because they do need to clean up the track based where Leclerc. Anthony tried to overtake down the inside turn, ran into Leclerc. Very bad move. He just barged in. He did. Yeah, he did not give enough space for Leclerc. He went wider than he needed to on the turn, and so his tire. And basically, he got in his tire got in on the inside of Leclerc, and Leclerc started to pull ahead, or Antonelli pulled back, and those tires touch and cause the collision. And they're going to put the collision Leclerc and Antonelli. Wait a second. They're still looking at the. So they're going to do an investigation of Leclerc and Russell now for causing a collision. They were gonna do that after the race, but now with Leclerc out. Yeah. You guys are making fun of Antonelli at the moment. Just know that we are an English language community, so if you guys say stuff in another language or another language system, um, we don't know what you're saying. Okay, right now again. So we've got another safety car. If this was practice, it would be a red flag, just so you guys have an understanding. What happened to Leclerc? Antonelli, there was a touch between tires with Antonelli. Antonelli came up on the inside of Leclerc. Really didn't give enough space. He went too wide on the turn and came up inside Antonelli. I mean, Antonelli came up on the inside of. So he came up on the inside of Leclerc. Their tires touched, and Leclerc went off into the wall, unfortunately. So Charles is out. Charles is out because of an incident with Antonelli, collision with Antonelli. So they've noted that Antonelli was speeding in the pit lane. This is going to get bad from worse for Antonelli. Antonelli right now is 7th, but he will probably get a penalty. Now another penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So this has become bad to worse for Kimi. Safety car is ending this lap. I don't know if they're gonna. So Sainz has served his penalty. So that we did have a 10-second penalty on Leclerc, Sainz with a collision with him and Tsunoda. He has now served that penalty. Safety car in this lap right now. Again, Lawson, he's right now behind Lawson there in their own little world off the back. They've been able to unlap themselves. So they're back on the lead lap, but they are over a second behind the leader. And he incinerated his skid plate. He's looking at DQ. That is possible as well, but that's a technical disqualification, so that won't affect driver points. But we'll see. Jude, I don't know what's worse, Lewis hype to Ferrari or Kimi as the poster boy for Merck. I think it's Lewis hype to Ferrari actually was worse because we had a whole year of knowing that he was going to leave McLaren. I'm sorry, not McLaren. Mercedes last year. We've just jumped to green flag running, and we've got right now. Here comes Max on Norris. So Oscar's got a jump. He's got a gap now. Good gap. We've got Max right now on one of the McLarens. And that has stabilized a bit. So it's a 0.8 to Oscar, 0.5 to Norris, 0.5 to Max. So the big beneficiary might be Isaac if he can stay with Max. And Oscar's now getting a second ahead of Norris right now. Gasly getting passed by Alonso, fighting with Alonso right now. Alonso has a tire advantage by 20 laps effectively. We have 15 laps to go in this race. We're in lap 58.72. We are in the last 15 laps of this race. It has been spicy. Not crazy, just spicy. How good are those McLarens? They're extremely good. DRS is enabled now on lap 59. So we at one lap after that restart, we are back to DRS enabled. Norris will not have DRS on Oscar, but Max will have DRS on Norris and Isaac on Verstappen. Russell Albon will have a DRS, Antonelli will have DRS. Gasly will not have DRS, but then there's another chain from Gasly down to Hulkenberg. Give that time. That may break up in a few moments. So right now, as they go around turn 12, Max has dropped off 1.6, so he won't have DRS on Norris. Norris still has, he should have DRS on, yeah, he does have DRS on Oscar. And that's going to help him stay within DRS range of Oscar. Norris flinging himself, gaining half a second on Oscar via the DRS. So Oscar and Norris have pulled together into their own little world. Isaac has just fallen back out of DRS range of Max. He needs to push now if he wants to stay within that DRS range, or he's going to fall back further. What happened to Ferrari? Ferrari's just been a that day. Lewis crashed at turn 3. Leclerc crashed around a turn because Antonelli made contact. So Oscar again now got a 1.3 gap on Norris. The gap from Norris to Verstappen has now jumped to 2.4. Gap to Verstappen to Isaac has now dropped back to 1.2. Norris had fastest lap for a second, but Oscar has taken that away from him. Yeah, guys, please don't swear in chat, even using abbreviations of swear words. We've got 12 laps to go. Looks like Borrella has a significant damage. He's fallen back out of. Oh, he pitted. Why did he pit now? Why did Sauber pit now? Borrella just pitted again for his second stop. Why didn't they pit under the safety car? So Borrella is out of this race at this point. again, Lawson and Sainz and Barlow are still in the lead lap, but they are over half a second back, 35, 36, 38 seconds back. The gap to Lawson to Hulkenberg, where everyone else is, 17 seconds. So they're effectively out of this race. And the gap max to Norris has jumped up to 3 seconds, and Norris has dropped back to 1.4, 1.5 back. So Norris and Oscar are in their little world within 1 second. 5 second time penalty for Antonelli for speeding in the pit lanes. And Antonelli has right now won't lose his place. He's got the gap from Antonelli to Gasly is over 7.4 seconds. Past game of Antonelli race. I don't think he has enough points for. I don't think he's got. I mean, he doesn't have penalty points for a race ban. As I understand it. Luma, first time chatter in Twitch. Phasmo Calipino. Unfortunately, he's 14th right now, out of the side of the points. His teammate is 9th, though. Bierman has moved up to 8th, Gasly leading at Gasly in 9th. Bierman right now is 8.4 behind. He needs to be under 5 seconds to Bierman in order to take that position, to basically be virtually in 7th position. So he's got 3.5 seconds to make up on Antonelli. Albon right now, P6. He is behind Russell, P5. Isaac Kajara has maintained his position at 4th this entire race. He is only 1.8 seconds behind Max right now. Gap is 7.5. The gap to Russell is 2.4 back right now. We'll keep an eye on that gap. But Isaac in his own, basically in his own little world right now. You've got Russell, Albon, Antonelli in their own little world. Bierman pushing off from Gasly right now. See if he can make the charge to get within range of Antonelli. Again, if he's within 5 seconds of Antonelli, he will get 7th place based off Antonelli's 5-second penalty. Sainz did have a 10-second penalty that has been served, so that is no longer relevant to this race. Right now, Alonso is chasing down Gasly. Again, there's a train from Gasly down to Hulkenberg. They're all within basically a second of each other. Russell, Albon, and Antonelli are all within a second of each other at the moment. Albon 0.5, 0.6 back, and Antonelli 0.9 back. You have 9 laps to go. Again, if you guys want to vote for driver today for you got 7 laps to go. Currently, the split is 27% Isaac, 10 on Max, on Leclerc. That's a pity vote on Leclerc if I saw one. I don't see the 10-second penalty. So that would be with the collision with Leclerc if there was a 10-second penalty. I don't see that on race control just yet. But that is potential what we're looking at. But that's, I don't. Whoa, the smoke. Mechanical fire. Oh my God, Lando just. Oh my God, Lando's out. Lando is out. Lando, the engine just popped on him. That engine is on. Well, it's smoking. So talk about taking a new engine next week. So that's going to promote Max to second, Isaac to third. and that's going to put Isaac on the podium right now. Right now, we have a podium position. Isaac Hajar. This is going to be massive. Safety car is out. Oscar is now around turn 2, turn 3, and Oscar's coming up on it. This will bunch up everyone. As it stands right now, Isaac is on podium position. Wow, this is gonna be a huge swing. So this is going to be a huge swing in the championship fight. This engine popping right here is going to give, right now as it stands, Oscar a 25-point swing. What just happened? Basically, Lando Norris's car, the engine just gave out, and it just popped. This is not. This is un. I can't tell you. It's been a very long time since runner engine pop like this. Normal, more normal in other like in IndyCar. This is F1 of old with the engine going. This doesn't make Oscar the champion right away. There are still more to go. But this gives a 25-point swing to Oscar in that chase. Oh, and Lando is he's gotten out of Lando's okay. He's gotten out of the car. He has gotten behind the wall and is sitting down and basically in the grass, dejected. Shot of Leclerc in the grass, sitting by himself. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. So will Lando take an engine penalty at Monza? I don't think he's going to take an engine penalty. I think it was always planned to take a new engine at Monza. Now that is definite because he has to. Yeah, the engineer apologizing to Lando. Oh, we could have had a race between Lando and Oscar in these last few laps, and that is now effectively blown by the engine. Lando has composed himself somewhat. Is now walking again and is waving to the crowd, and the crowd is cheering for him. Imagine Max jumping Oscar now. That is possible with a restart. That is very possible with a restart now. How is Isaac still P3? Well, he just got P3 with Lando losing his engine. Lando didn't crash. His engine let go. There was a mechanical failure and pulled off on the side of the track. So he did not crash. Yeah, I mean, this is give you an idea. Like, if Max's engine let go, you guys got to understand that these engines were turned up to the maximum. Look, right now, what you guys are saying in chat right now. How many laps of racing? Right now, we got 5 laps to go, but we still are on the safety car. We could see it come in with maybe 3 laps to go. Avik, they're mad at and Kimmy. You understand that he's the youngest currently, so that was a rookie mistake. Very much so, yeah, but he surely needs to be penalized. We have not gotten a penalty for that. So right now we're looking at Isaac right now on track to potentially have a podium finish. It would be his first podium in his career. So we got 5 laps to go. As it stands right now, okay. So safety car, it looks like safety car is ending. So this will be a restart. They are getting backed up right now. So they're going around turn 12. And here we go, coming to turn 13 to the restart. Here we go. Safety car is in. And Oscar's off. Max is going to cool with him. Oscar gets a little bit of a gap. Isaac gets a good gap as well. And they are green flag running. So Max is about 1.5 car lengths back. He's keeping in line with Oscar right now. Isaac is about 3 cars back from Max, and another 2 back for Russell. So Isaac has got a good gap between Russell and Max at the moment. Max is keeping about 2 car lengths back now behind Oscar, but he's keeping with him. They are pulling away from everyone. So Isaac is now 1.1 behind Max right now. Russell is 0.6 behind Isaac. Oscar's gotten 1 second ahead of Max. So we're our DRS range redrive. Russell's still within DRS range. Max is jumping up. But it's slow. Max is slowly losing time to Oscar. Last lap was a 1:26 and Max was a 13.2, so it's about 8/10 of a second loss. Isaac did a 13.8, Russell did a 14.3, Albin did a 14.6. So we're dropping times as we go down the chart. Three laps to go in this race right now. So they're predicting light rain at any moment. It looks like dark clouds outside the commentary box for F1 TV, and I can see those clouds that they're talking about. There's a couple of shots where you can see those dark clouds. Two laps to go in this race right now. Again, Max is falling back 1.5. Isaac's more Russell 3. So the race right now is in 4, 5, 6. Again, Antonelli probably has a couple penalties. Bierman has fallen back 1.8. So Antonelli's going to drop some places because he still has a 5-second penalty. Maybe more, depending on how they rule the collision. Again, we got to vote ourselves for driver of the day. Easily going to be Isaac. He started P3. He's going to finish. Started P4. He's maintained P4 all race long. Is now going by virtue of Lando going out, has inherited P3. What happened? Lando engine let go. Engine mechanical failure. Engine pop. And there's an incident involving Sonoda and Gasly noted. Final lap is this race right now. Verstappen is Oscar is 1.5 ahead. Max is 1.7 ahead of Isaac, and Isaac is 2 seconds ahead. Moment of nervousness in the Racing Bulls garage. Oh boy. F1 TV saying that if things stand as they are right now, Isaac will be the youngest French driver ever to be on the podium. Here comes this is definitely the moment of truth right now. Isaac coming along. He's coming to turn 11 right now. Start of sector 3. Turn 12 right now, going to 13. Going around 13 right now, coming to 14 to the line. And here we go. And it is a win for Oscar Piastri. Max Verstappen will come in second. And for the first time in his career, Isaac Hadjar has P3 and a podium for the first time. This is the Racing Bulls are ecstatic right now with a podium position. It's been a very long time since we've seen huge points for Isaac. Isaac is one of the guys. He's been consistently good all year long. I know every driver. But ultimately, Isaac has been the most consistent all year long. Antonelli drops to 16th after his penalties. He may get another penalty. He may get again. I don't know if they ruled what else they've ruled on him. Yeah, and that is our race, everyone. Oscar again. The big story again. The big top story is that Norris went out of the race with an engine failure. That gives a 25-point swing, full 25 points. So Oscar was leading 7 points already. He's now 32 points ahead of his teammate now. Max Verstappen is going to get some points on Lando in this fight, but again, it's like an 80-point difference between the two. So we're only talking about 18 points here. But P3, Isaac Hadjar, huge points for his team. First podium for this guy. So I want to thank everyone here who was here. So next week, that's going to bring our coverage for the race for the Dutch Grand Prix. We will be back next Friday with Free Practice 1. It will be Monza. So we'll be Monza next weekend. So I will see you guys next week. For those who are on YouTube, now's a great time to like, subscribe if you haven't yet. If you hit the bell, you'll get notifications when we go live starting next Friday. We'll be here for every session. If you follow us on Twitch, you'll get notifications when we go live as well. You get those set up properly. If you're on Facebook, keep an eye on for notifications for events, and that is that's smoke. That's smoke from either crowd or someone doing donuts. Oh wow, the Orange Army is they've basically lit up the sides of the track with their flares. For everyone here at Racing Statistics, this has been Grash again. This has been our coverage of the Grand Prix. Again, we'll be back next Friday with free practice 1 for the Monza Grand Prix. Again, have a good day, everyone. For those who are motorheads, the last race IndyCar is today in let me see, in Nashville. So I will be trying to follow that as best I can. I may not be able to today, but we'll see. Those of you joining, if I'm able to follow the race, I'll be dropping that information into chat, usually the media channel. So again, for everyone here who are watching, thank you for being here. We will see you on Friday. Take care, everyone.